we are solving the questions for task 5. Task 5 is about ensure team members, stakeholders are adequately trained. They have the required skill set, they have the right training required for the thing. And if we are providing the training, we have to measure the outcomes that I provided you training. What is the change in your performance? This is what we need to focus by looking in the exam content outline while answering the questions. So now the question is, you take over a hybrid project mid-execution. Stakeholder X complain that deliverables are inconsistent and defect trends suggest the team is not following the agreed standards. Several new team members joined. What should you do first? You can do many things, but what should you do first? Schedule mandatory training for all team members immediately. Perform a competency assessment to identify skill gaps against project needs. Seems to be a better answer. Escalate to functional manager for stronger supervision. Replace the new team member with experienced staff. We need to find the first option. So we will not go with all. First, we will go with what is the gap. And then if they are not improving, then you can go for C. And then if they don't improve, then we can go to D. So yes, here also we have the B as the correct answer. Very good. Perfect. Let's continue to next. A project requires a specialized vendor tool. Only 2 team members need deep expertise while others need basic awareness. Schedule is tight and the tool vendor offers a paid certification course. What is the best training approach? Send a whole team for certification to ensure shared understanding. Train only the 2 specialists formally and provide internal knowledge sharing for the rest. Skip training and learn on the job to save time. Hire new staff with vendor certification instead of training. What you will do? There are some possible answers which could be good, but there is only one better answer, which is exactly whole team. Why I have to send the whole team while you are already running with the tight schedule? And skipping the training will let us create a risk for project disagreements, or there could be a problem in the project. Hiring a staff requires a lot of time, so it's better to work what we have, determine the required competencies and provide them the required training. So yes, in our situation of this question, B is actually the correct answer. Let's go next. During user acceptance testing, UAT, business stakeholders reject completed work because they did not understand how the new workflow would function. They also provide vague feedback, creating multiple rework cycle. What comes in my mind that when the user story was being collected, it was collected without definition of done and proper acceptance criteria. And while we are doing so, or when we were eliciting the requirement, we did not use the method of storyboarding. Storyboarding where we use visuals to collect the wireframe. So it could be a low fidelity wireframe, it could be a high fidelity wireframe, or it could be a prototype. So that was the collection or elicitation method was not appropriate. That's why stakeholders are unable to log the requirements or they are disagreeing with the provided requirements. So the proper method is we have to elicitate properly by using the storyboarding method or prototyping method and take their acceptance criteria as the final test case before you start building anything. So what should you do as a PM next? Ask developers to add features, extra features until stakeholders are satisfied. They will never be satisfied. Provide stakeholders training on the new workflow and acceptance criteria before continuing UAT. Escalate to sponsor to force sign off. Extend UAT and wait for stakeholders to learn naturally. Imagine I asked you to guys read by yourself and learn PMP by yourself naturally, which creates a lot of time and problems, right? So yes, better answer is actually also B here. That provide stakeholder training, which will help me to analyze the things, like I can show them a prototype, how does it work and so on. So it's like by using prototyping method, I can let the work done. So yes, B is the correct answer. Next, your team needs training on new compliance process. Sponsor refuses to increase budget. stating training is not part of delivery. However, audit failure would be catastrophic. What is the best action? Proceed without training to avoid budget impact. Reallocate resources from lower priority activities to fund training and document the decisions. Demand a sponsor approve additional budget. Transfer compliance responsibility to operations. So you are the part of project, so operations will not be the answer, right? Similarly, we will not reject or ignore anything in the project. So correct answer remaining here is you are demanding the budget, but he is not giving. So yes, this answer is correct. Reallocate resources from lower priority activities. So it means we'll be using smoothing by using the areas where we have float, so we can adjust the resource management accordingly. Great. I'm glad you guys are doing very good. Thank you. Keep doing like this. Next. A team member completed training on a new deployment pipeline, but errors continue. They claim training was too theoretical. What training element is missing? Reward and recognition, hands-on practice, and assessment aligned to real tasks, a longer training schedule, stakeholders sign off. Surprisingly or luckily, most options which are B looking correct. But yeah, your answer is correct that B is the right choice. Hands-on practice is there because if it's only theoretical, they will not learn anything what is needed. Very good. Next, you need to confirm whether a training program improved team performance. Which metric best measures training effectiveness? Number of people who completed the course, participant satisfaction survey scores only, reduction in defect, rework, and improved cycle time after training, or total cost spent on training. What will define the effectiveness of the training? So yes, correct answer is that when I provide you training, it should bring the outcomes, improvements into your existing performances. The purpose of training is training, coaching, and mentoring is that should be an outcome into your performances, which should reflect. Very good. Next question. A critical milestone is in 3 weeks. The team needs training on a new testing framework. Formal training would take 2 weeks, but delaying the milestone is not acceptable. We need training and we have a schedule problem also. What should the PM do? Skip training and accept lower quality? In any way, it doesn't sound nice. Used just in time training with a coach or subject matter expert and apply it immediately to project work. Replace the framework with an older tool the team knows. Push the milestone data back. You cannot push the date back, not possible. You cannot replace the framework because it is approved. It has to be done with the change control. So yes, B is better answer here also. Very nice. Let's go next. A new business analyst joins the project. The team expects them to write user stories, but the business analyst believes their role is limited to documentation. Work is delayed due to confusion. So accountability is missing. What should the PM do first? Assign the BA task and demand compliance. Clarify the role expectations, required competencies, and onboarding training plans. Escalate to the BA's manager and remove the BA from the project. You cannot do that, any of them. It's not the required version. It doesn't happen. And while you are assigning the task, you have to prepare the thing. So first thing is we need to understand where is the problem. Problem is in the roles. So yes, we need to clearly clarify the rules and expectations for the stakeholders. Very good. Let's go next. A project team needs cybersecurity expertise for a new system. Internal team training would take 6 months, but the project finishes in 10 weeks. The risk exposure is high. What is the best approach? Train the team anyway for long-term benefits. use an external expert or consultant and pair them with the team for knowledge transfer, proceed without expertise and accept the risk, remove cybersecurity requirement from scope. So we know that we cannot remove the requirement, we cannot move without the required, and we cannot push the thing. So if we don't have expertise, it's better to bring the external consultant who will provide us the expertise. Very good, very good. You guys are doing a great way. And the last question. After training on requirement elicitation, improvements appear shorter but decline after 1 month. Stakeholders are again complaining about unclear requirements. What should the PM do? Repeat the same training every month. Add reinforcement, coaching templates, peer reviews, and checkpoints to sustain new behaviors. Seems to be a better answer, but let's go next. Stop training because it clearly does not work. Replace the team members involved. You will not create a mess, and you will not stop doing what you are doing in the best of the project and organization and people interest. And you cannot go by force. So yes, better answer here also is B. That try to understand what they need, try to find better approaches, assign responsibilities, view their metrics, so we can lead the team in a better way, and we can ensure a team member and stakeholders have required information and shared understanding, so they can collaborate with each other to make the project success. So yeah, thank you very much, and we were able to finish task 5 also. Tomorrow